Hello and welcome to EverLogic Training. My name is Jennifer Fuel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today, where we will be going through the end of day process in EverLogic. So on the agenda, we will go into the end of day, where we will start the end of day. You'll be required to select a drawer number and the end date for the end of day that you're working on. There'll be some general information on the form to complete, along with the counting of the drawer totals, entering payment types, and then we will compare the drawer totals to EverLogic. And then there'll be a transaction list where we can find errors, along with doing a printout of the end of day to find errors. You'll be able to search for individual transactions and then save and search the end of day. There'll be the credit card transaction report. We'll then go in to process the end of day. And then I'll also show you how to unpost the end of day just in case you need to, along with unprocessing the end of day. So let's go ahead and get started in EverLogic. And today we're on the Office Operations tab, and we see the end of day section. So we're going to start end of day. Now please notice in red, it will indicate any drawer that was used during this period of time. So I'm going to choose drawer number 1. And then you can choose an end date. Now please know, if I have not submitted an end of day for the last 2 days, those 2 days will be included on this end of day report. So this date is going to process any days from the previous days that have not yet been processed. I say that because if you had not completed an end of day within the last couple of days, you may want to come in and choose a specific date, for instance, June 1st, and then submit that end of day, and then come back and complete June 2nd as an individual end of day. And then today, I'm going to go with June 3rd. So we're going to go ahead and click OK to get started. Now please note that EverLogic has already displayed an end of day number, the drawer number you selected along with the end date, my location, my name as I am the one that's logged into EverLogic currently, and then I start every day with $200 in my drawer. Now in today's world, you may or may not start with any cash in your drawer, and that's okay. You can leave it at 0. So now what I'm looking to do is to compare the drawer totals on the left side to the total of payments that were made or received on the right side. So what I'm going to do is click the compare button. Okay, and here's my compare window. And in my example, I see red. So what we need to do is get rid of the red. Okay, so the red is showing either overages or shortages. So I'm going to show you how to go through to find these errors. So I've got an error in cash, check, my internal, and my warranties. So I'm going to close this window for now and go to transactions. So here we've got in the upper left corner these links that you can open to view additional detail. So we have my total part sales and everything that's listed here, the payments, the totals, customer's name. I can print this. Okay, these were service jobs and part sales. So I can take it over to my parts department and see if we can find or locate an error that's missing, causing my drawer totals not to match. There's also a link here for the total service sales everything that's listed here, the different types of payments, the totals, and the customer's name. Again, you can print this and take it over to your sales group, see if they can help you locate these payments. And if your dealership does rentals, there is a link for rentals also, along with total sales, total transactions, any voided or manual adjustments that were made. So again, this is where you're going to go in and reconcile to see where the overage and shortage was, and then come back and then compare to make changes. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to ask that you not do this in real life, but for class purposes, I am going to manually make the changes. So I got my cash, my checks, the internal jobs, and last but not least, my warranty. All right. And this time I'm going to save and compare, and you'll see there is no more red. So again, your goal is to rid the red. And you do that by clicking on the transaction button and then going back over to your parts, service, and sales groups to see if they can help you locate those items. All right. There are options at the top for you to delete, print, email, or scan documents if necessary. All right, we're ready to process this end of day. So I'm going to click on the process button in the upper right corner. You now see this end of day has been processed. The next part is to actually post it into QuickBooks. So I'm going to close this for now and back onto the Office Operations tab. I'm going to, first of all, search for the end of day. Now, I want to point out this little button here that shows is processed. Okay, so did we process it? Yes, I can search for it, and there it is. If I need to, I can open it and make changes. If you need to make changes, all you have to do is go to Undo and click Unprocess if necessary. Okay. For now, I'm going to close this, and next we'll go to the Office Operation tab and list unposted EODs. All right, so we're going to get ready to send our end of day over to QuickBooks, and it's searching for the end of day and all the detail that was included. Okay, so here is the end of day that I need to post to QuickBooks. So I am going to double click it, and everything will then display details on the right side. Once this populates, I'll just need to make sure everything is included, no empty spots or blank spaces. So everything is accurate. Double checking. And if anything is blank, you'll just want to go back and make those adjustments as necessary. And then you see your totals to the far right. Okay, everything looks good. I do want to point out the View Transaction button at the top. On occasion, this button may show in orange, and this would show any on accounts, warranties, or transactions with deposits for you to view. So if you did have any of those types of transactions, you can view here your warranties or invoices with deposits. Okay. And then it's time to send it to QuickBooks. So I'm going to click on the Save button. And you see here, it says Send Deposits to QuickBooks. So I need to click on Receive Payments. All right. Now remember, we always want to read our pop-up messages. And this is indicating Robert Brown is not in the list. Do you want to add him? So Robert is a new customer at my dealership. His information has not been sent over to QuickBooks yet, and that's why it's showing him as being not in the list. So yes, I do want to add him to my QuickBooks list. Okay, and EverLogic will continue to search, and now we're finding another customer that is a new customer that you've added in EverLogic. And so we're asking, do you also want to add this customer to QuickBooks? So yes. Now you notice the box here is checked, Send to QuickBooks. I want to point out Mark as posted. Mark as posted is only if you do this manually. So if you're manually posting this into QuickBooks, you would choose Marked as Posted. All right, we should be finishing up here any moment. All right, the invoice was created in QuickBooks. We'll click OK, and I'm going to minimize or close this window for now. So what if there's a problem or you need to go back and make changes? You can do so. We're going to now go to Search End of Days. Now, since we've processed this end of day, I would want to make sure the Process button is checked, and then you can search. Okay, here's the end of day. I'm going to double click on it, and you will now see where it shows that it has been processed and posted. So if there were changes to be made, you would first need to come to Undo and unpost your end of day. All right, it's showing here the records have now been deleted from QuickBooks, and the word posted is no longer there. And then you go to the Undo and click Unprocess, and you'll see it no longer says processed. Of course, you'll make any changes as necessary and then go back through the procedure by clicking on the Process button. It's now processed. Close that, and then back onto the Office Operation tab to list unposted EODs and go through the posting to QuickBooks procedure again. Now, this time when we post it to QuickBooks, it will not recognize those customers as being new in the list. Okay, here we are, and I'm going to double click on that end of day, and I want to make sure I go through and ensure there's no blanks, making sure all of my totals are accurate. And then remember your View Transactions, where you can view warranties and invoices with deposits. Remember, if you're doing a manual post to QuickBooks, you'll click Mark as Posted. Otherwise, click Send to QuickBooks and then click Save. All right, receive these payments by clicking on that button. Again, all of my customers will be recognized this time, so we do not have to add them into the list. And this should take just a moment. All right, the invoice was created in QuickBooks. Okay, let's close that, and one last time we'll go into Search End of Days. It is now processed, so I'm going to search, and then open it up, double click, and you see now it is processed and posted once again. We are now done with the end of day. So back over to our agenda. We covered a lot in a short period of time. With the end of day process, we started the end of day. We selected our drawer and end of date. There was some general information on the form that we went through, including counting our drawer totals and entering payment type amounts. We then compared the drawer to EverLogic. We also went through the transaction list to find errors, and also we were able to print out the end of day to help us find those errors. We were able to search individual transactions. We saved and searched the end of day. There was a credit card transaction report. We then processed the end of day. We listed the unposted end of day. And then I also showed you how to unpost and unprocess the end of day in case there were errors that needed to be corrected. Now, on behalf of myself and everyone here at EverLogic, I'd like to say thank you so much for taking the time away from your busy schedule to join me today. And if you have any additional questions, please contact us here at EverLogic. Thank you and have a great day.